All right, hello everyone. We are back for what I'll call season two.
I like how we had the little hiatus and then it
Little
came back.
hiatus, and now we're back. And don't I feel like I think we'll start putting out regular episodes. I
I
have
hope
some ideas.
I
I
have
have
some
some
ideas.
new
Yeah,
ideas.
right.
Um, so today's episode, I think today we're going to talk about the big elephant in the room that happened in the community over the past week, LegoCon. We're also going to save you guys the time of us because while we were away, all the summer pictures came out. So to save you guys listening to us ramble for hours and hours about each individual picture, we're going to go over our top 10 sets for the summer. And we're also going to talk about, well, I'll talk about something that I found very interesting about the gunship that was pointed out to me, and I kind of figured out. So we'll go over that. But yeah, I think it should be a fun episode.
I'm excited personally. I'm very excited.
All right, but before we do all of that, I just wanted to take a moment. I so the as of this recording, it's like what, the 30th of June. If you guys don't know her, Holly or Potter Minifig Pals put out this video talking about her recent mental health struggles and all of that. And I just wanted to, I'm going to post it on my Instagram in a minute, but I just wanted to take a moment here and I think you should go watch the video. If you haven't, just go to our channel, Potter Minifig Pals. I just wanted to take a moment to kind of, I don't know if congratulate her is the right word, but kind of just recognize the fact that what she did in that video is amazing. I
Really
think
brave.
and I think that mental health in the Lego community is something that is not talked about at all.
100%.
In my own experience, it's kind of been shot down a little bit. And I think it's really brave because some people just, like I'll say in my case, like I've been told, oh, people don't give craps. Like this was for something different. This was just about me talking, but people are like, oh, people just want, the pictures and all of that and the reviews. But it's something that I think needs to be spoken out more because in a community, like in any big community, I think mental health should be, the importance of mental health should be emphasized. And I feel like in the Lego community, it is. And I think doing a step like this is very bold, and I'm really proud of her. And I think that I'm going to reach out to her too and let her know that if she needs anything, I'm here. And I just think it's a really big step to talk about something like that, especially in like a public profile like that. Like, yeah, like she does have a lot of YouTube subscribers. She's new to the community. It's something where it's like it is quote unquote risky, and I think it's a really good step for her to do that.
100%. And I mean, especially, I think it's interesting talking about like mental health with content creators of any sort. And I see the Lego community as a community who does not acknowledge it as much as it should. I don't know. I know you've talked about like you just kind of getting borderline harassed. I would say harassed. No, you've gotten death threats before.
That's a weird thing.
Over leaks, over something as trivial as a leaks for a plastic toy. And there's a demand. I know there's a certain demand for content, but at the end of the day, everyone should keep them out there. They're content creators are people too, and your words do have power, whether you are using them for positive things such as uplifting and sending your content creators messages. Those messages seriously make my day when I get a message like, this, is seeing this content, like, brighten my day. Those comments always, just mean the world to me. But also in that same vein, your online hate can really hurt, your favorite content creators. So, maybe don't post about that. Maybe go outside.
It's something where it's like, especially when I got the death threats, first of all, I thought it was ridiculous because it was literally someone got mad at me because there was this there was this guy who decided before the Bugle leaked, to post like I can't remember, but there was like one custom brand of Daredevil. He kept posting that same thing, and me being the superhero guy in the community who knows apparently what's up with superheroes, people love to tag me and that sort of stuff. And then I happened to say, no, that's fake. And then someone just went on this whole rant against me and said, yeah, like said some bad things. And I'm just like, oh. So it's again, it's like it's something where I really do feel like sometimes people are viewed as kind of are like not real people, just there's just like we're just viewed as online figures, like
Right.
we don't like we're not actual people. And I just think that, you know, we are actual people. And I know people I've taken mental health days. I've struggled with, dealing with stuff like that. And I think it's great when I see people speak up about it.
Right.
So again, big shout out to Holly, and I hope she gets better. And Holly, if you're listening to this again, I'm gonna reach out to you over DMs. I probably already have, but if you need anything, just reach out to me.
Shout out Holly, you got this.
All right. So now that we talked about that, I think it's time to talk about LegoCon.
Nobody said it ever like that. Nobody ever had that reaction. After that happened, nobody had that reaction.
Did you watch it?
I watched until the Star Wars part, and I know we were all talking in chat and kind of just live tweeting it. I watched it up into the Star Wars stuff, and then after Star Wars was over, I was just like, I gotta go get lunch. This was a waste of my time.
It was. It felt so. I had a few things about that. For starters, it felt like it felt misadvertised.
Right.
They it was like they it was I posted this on my story, but people said that someone even said, though, you gave Lego too much credit. But I think Lego did do some not like I think they knew what they were doing when they were advertising the Star Wars sets.
Right. No, they did, and I think they still would have revealed them if they didn't come out from the catalog that they posted. I
They
still think,
did.
right,
That's something like they posted it. Like but what I mean is like they phrased it in such a way that it was, hey, like th- like it wasn't like, hey, we'll reveal the sets.
that you set singular.
It was set singular. And so of course, like Lego pays attention to the online forums.
100%.
Pay attention to the community. And like they said that, and they know that people are going to think Gunship.
Right. That's what
They
I thought.
know. But even then, that wasn't my biggest like I had a couple problems with it, but that was one of them. It's just feeling like they misadvertised. And like as much like, okay, part of it is Lego has recently been making a big AFOL push.
Mhm.
And you felt like here they kind of like they completely ignored AFOLs.
Right. They
And
really did. This was totally meant for like kids.
it was meant for kid. It wasn't like in they so this is something else I'm going to get into a little later. It's one of my problems, but with they sent out the press kits to LAN for their
Mhm.
con, and no one. First of all, again, like they sent them out like right before the event, but it was never advertised as a kids event.
Right.
It was advertised as something like, hey, could be for adults potentially too.
Right. Like they seem to kind of throw out a very wide net of stuff, I guess, in that initial poster and kind of what we learned about it. It's like, okay, this would like apply to adults. Like it seemed adult oriented, and conventions usually are adult oriented, like I don't I don't know, like conventions I always kind of consider to be more of an adult thing, but I
And then you look at it, and then it was just like, and then they sent like, yeah, they sent out the press kits like right before it started, and people aren't going to have time to advertise and be like, hey, this is a kid event, this is a kid event. Like, people expected more.
I
And
definitely expected more for sure.
especially with like it's kind of like, I know that like people say like, oh, the one of the big arguments I saw is, oh, the Star Wars sets, like they weren't officially revealed.
Right.
And I get that, but even again, it just felt like to me, even if I was like going in blind, it still felt like it was that SpongeBob meme with like the magic conch shell where it's just like nothing.
Right.
It was
Right.
nothing was really revealed. And
No.
you look at of like conventions like that you can argue are made for kids. Like Nintendo's E3,
Uh-huh.
that's made for kids.
I guess I didn't watch it, so I have no like frame of reference for what.
Well, it's like they preview like upcoming games, like
Okay.
Mario games
Okay.
and
Sure.
stuff
Sure.
like
Sure.
that. And it's like that's made for kids because Mario's primary audience is for kids, and they still have a lot of reveals.
Right.
And then you look at it leading, like some of the marketing decisions leading up to it, Lego ideas. You could have easily revealed the sets that like the winner there
Right.
in
The
LegoCon.
lighthouse one.
Yeah,
Right.
even though that's a whole joke of itself. Um, but and then you have what was it? The Mario sets.
Right. That was just an ad. That was just a commercial.
It was the commercial, but it was the same commercial they released a couple days before.
Right. Like there's nothing new. Like I
Like, I
guess.
understand Nintendo might be strict with that because I know that they're very strict with certain things, but at the same time, it's like, okay, why not just at least have the sets? Like, why not go into it?
Right. Or the designer. Like why couldn't you get like a designer of the sets to just talk about the sets themselves?
And then it felt very misleading and very like you think that with Lego's push for AFOLs and all of that, they wouldn't ignore them.
Right.
And here it was kind of like you're ignored. Like again, like what I said earlier, Lego pays attention to the online communities. They know that this was like the fact that they didn't reveal the gunship, but regardless of whether or not it was supposed to be revealed, I think it was dumb.
Right. I mean, they could have done like they announced that they were doing a foosball set, which like I'll give them that. That was kind of like I don't know, a solid thing to do. But like they didn't announce like they could have done the 150th Brickheads. They could have done they could have shown off the Seinfeld set. Uh they could have just held off on the Mario stuff because they posted like what 2 3 days before the con.
It's not like they were struggling for reveals either.
Right. They had so much content. They have
They have
so many.
so much left.
Right.
Like you could literally do the Marvel. You could do, hey, we're gonna have a Marvel panel. We're gonna drop the Disney Plus stuff. We're gonna show off the two Disney Plus sets, even
Right.
though one of them was revealed or it was Amazoned already. And then we're gonna do the collectible minifigure series. For
Right.
Yeah, it's like there's so much that they could have done, and it just felt like and then it's like again, you see with the way that they worded it, it was like people are going to think gunship because this again, it makes so much sense for the gunship to be revealed here.
Right. I think it's also interesting that they I think they only had what like three design like set designers or no they did the whole like day in the life of a set designer and those were from the Friends team.
They had Friends, Minecraft, Star Wars,
It's
Harry Potter.
oh
But
yeah
it
no they had
it,
Marcos in there yeah
it was like, but it was never something where it was like long, you know.
right.
And then they also dealt with those stupid outages.
Oh, those were so bad. From a technical aspect, that is so shoddy. Like,
Even then, it's like I for a second I did not realize that that was actually live.
right,
I thought that it was pre-recorded.
Oh, you thought that they like did a like a little meme kind of a thing.
Like, no, no, no. Like I thought before the outages that this was just something we were watching being recorded.
Oh, yeah, no, it was
Like
all
it was
live.
some, and then when it was like, oh, like it was like I thought like it was pre questions, all that. Like it's like one of those things where it's like, hey, it's live before the studio audience. Yeah, it was revealed like it was recorded a couple hours ago, but it wasn't. And then the
Right,
outages, and then it wasn't just one outage, it was two outages, and then it lasted for like 5 minutes. And I'm just like,
right. That's
that's like
brutal. A 5 minute outage is so long because it was only like what, 2 hours long?
yeah,
Like, I don't know. I don't know. But like they just put in so much like they okay, here's the thing I have. Obviously for those who very much are, keep up on what I do. I do a lot of environmental and sustainability stuff. That's what I went to school for. And they talked about like the water bottles and like how making the bricks and water bottles, right? Which is a very cool idea.
it
But
is.
they revealed it the day before and then talked about it at the con. I'm like, just do that at the convention. I,
So, like part of this is, I know this might be considered controversial, but this is where I think like so you feel like why did Lego like it was almost like Lego was scared to reveal stuff in during this con.
right. I wonder if they were worried about like outages and stuff, like
Well,
technical stuff.
not even technical outages. I would go one better and like God, this is gonna sound so bad, but I wonder if with like God, I'm gonna say this. I think Lego was a little afraid of land.
Oh, you think like land would have gotten a little prickly because they didn't get the info first?
Yes,
Oh, but then you could have just given them the press pack and been like, "Hey, you can reveal it at this time."
but think about this.
Right,
Stuff leaks from land all the time.
right,
Lego does nothing.
right. Gideon's cruiser
Gideon's
ship.
Cruiser, that was a direct from the press
Right,
kit.
right,
That was, and like there was something else that leaked from land. I can't remember what it was, but it's like everything that leaks is from land,
right,
usually with big announcements.
right,
Either it's from a Lego store
right,
or it's from LAN. And I know for a fact, like I've been told by friends in LAN that people have gotten like upset when they've like been out of a reveal. And I'm just like, I think that's so like
right.
like, I just think it's like they don't need to do that. Like
Right,
Lego can do this. Like obviously if like I can see why like I would bet you $50 that like the gunship's gonna leak beforehand. Like
right,
it's not something it's something where it's like, but why not take this opportunity? Okay, like you might like I know there's been certain instances from what's been kind of put online, not even just from what I've been told, like from what land members have advertised online, where it's like people have gotten like I think J- like Justin and Holly and Ash have all talked about like people just getting angry in the land forums over stuff, over
right.
weird stuff. And then it's just like you don't need land to reveal everything.
No, you don't.
And like I have friends in LAN and I'm not trashing the program. I just think it's like it's it comes off as especially from someone who kind of has at least I likes to think that they figured out the workings a little bit. It
Right.
comes off as just a little like really like like you can't hold like it's not even like holding an announcement. It's like
Right. Lego
why
should be
wouldn't
held, right. Lego should be held hostage to the people that they've brought outside of their company to promote their products. Lego as a company should not be like cornered by them because also like it's Lego as an organization and they're getting to do their own thing. Part of me is like I would rather the reveal come from a source like Lego themselves rather than LAN. Like it's cool that they give it to LAN and like some things might be cool to release that way, but like at the end of the day, wouldn't you want the reveals to come from in-house just from a business standpoint? Like that's what's going to get you views to your social media. That's what's going to get people to come on your online website. That's what's going to get people into your stores. I don't know.
And again, it's like I'm not trashing Lamb. Like
No, not
I've
at all.
heard some great things about Lamb, but it's just like it's it's just funny to me how it's like Lego talks about like and I'll give you an example like this. Like at some point, like Lego hates like from what I've been told, Lego hates when they don't feel in control.
Right.
Like with the whole 501st Battle Pack.
Yep.
They did not feel in control there.
Speaking, can we go off on a tangent? Speaking of File First Battle Pack, have you seen that somebody's trying to do? I don't know who it is on the internet, but somebody's trying to do like a Commander Cody, like a we want Commander Cody thing, and we can touch on this later. But like, have you seen somebody doing that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
I just think it's funny because like, stop. Ryan's already done that, and he got a lot of hate for it. So like, don't try it again. Just leave it.
Well, I'll put it like so the problem is like why I believe why the 501st I'm going to say why the 501st like thing was able to happen
Right.
is it was number one, it was a very organized movement. It
Right.
was we want this set, we want it to be a and even then you can argue that Lego didn't cave because they made
Um.
it $30
Right.
instead of 20 or 15. They
Right. They
doubled the
didn't.
price.
I do not commit. I do not consider that a battle pack. That's just a set. That's a
No,
$30 play
it's a
set.
set. It's a set. But it's like with something like Cody, that's I feel like not going to work.
Right, because it's so obscure. Like they'll
It's
give us
so it no, not even that it's so obscure, but it's like it's one minifigure.
right.
There have been people who have said there's every like you hear the movements for some like there's so many popular characters that Lego hasn't done that like one character is not going to have a movement.
Right.
I'm
Something
going
a
to
little
add a
more
little fuel to the fire. I'll touch on this now. Um so one of the funny things is while because I did hear before the con that the gunship was going to be revealed.
right.
Someone I kind of trust, that I do trust. I don't want to say kind of because I actually do trust them. They had heard that it was from someone that they trust that it was going to be revealed. So I'm like, okay, I trust them. They trust this person. I trust them.
Right.
So and then they said, so I was looking into all of that, and I always thought it was interesting. I'm gonna put on my tinfoil hat here for a second, and I'm not saying in any way this is happening. I want to make
Disclaimer.
that disclaimer. It's not. I don't know if it's happening. I'm not saying it's happening, but it's really interesting to notice that the Lego set designers have said Bob is not coming.
Right.
And apparently I saw it somewhere that has to do with like Disney and something Disney there's something specific there about who Bob is and like Disney doesn't like it's I would have someone posted it somewhere in like Eurobricks or in like a Discord or something like that. But yeah, so Disney and then but there was never like a denial of Cody.
Right. And we also had that weird 212th Airborne Trooper that was put in the Grievous ship.
Oh yeah, and
Right.
like I think it was Stone Wars. I think because
Yep.
Stone Wars is I'm friends with them and they have good sources.
Right.
They are good sources. So I will back that up. I know some people, might not know who Stone Wars is or might not trust them, but I would say from my experience, they have good sources.
They do.
I think they once like at least said that Cody was in um the the Grievous ship.
The thing was apparently like they had a contact from like what I heard, which was again, I don't understand German. So I had somebody DM me about this. Apparently what had happened was they saw the set early for some manner or another, but the
Toy
clone
Fair.
probably Toy Fair, yeah. But like the clone trooper that was used looked like Cody, and like it was implied to be Commander Cody, and then the set comes out and it's, obviously not. So what happened there? Like, also, oh, just a side note, putting Cody in an $80 set that's nowhere worth $80 is an amazing way to get people to buy that set, which like totally makes sense. If they put it at $80, they threw Commander Cody, which people want in there, a ship that people like, people would 100% pay $80 for it if Cody was in it. And they think they knew that, and they had to take Cody out, and I think that set suffered from it.
And I think again, it's like, oh, putting on tinfoil's hats. Does that mean Cody's in the gunship? Does that mean the rumors of Mason Windu and well, I think Windu's correct, but does that whatever the other clone is, does that wrong? It's if so one of two things I will say. Either Lego, because you feel like Lego does get mad. Like I feel like Lego did kind of get mad at the UCS gunship vote,
Right.
because they never revealed the results, like the percentage results.
Right.
They said that they were going to, never did, which makes me think that the gunship blew the other two out of the water. And I would guess that Lego at least had them like what? It's been like a yearish, I want to say. It's been like you would think that Lego at least was long in the design process of all three and
Right.
could use it as, hey, even though like the Nebulon B didn't win, it still got a lot of votes. Let's make it into like people will buy it.
Right.
And in this case, I think the results were horrendous. So they probably were like, yeah, no, we're not going to do that.
Right. No, I totally think the gunship won by quite a bit. I think it's weird that they're holding the vote though, but I know we've talked about this in the podcast before.
Yeah, I think we have.
Yeah, I think we talked about it with Justin.
But yeah, it's funny.
Right.
But yeah, so I don't know. It's just like and again, like I think that this again, it's circling back to the LegoCon. If like apparent like with all the Cody write-ins, and yes, you can argue that that might be like a specific group of Lego fans, but it's still Lego fans, and it just doesn't make sense to me why this like. I guarantee you, the gunship's just gonna get some random land reveal. It's gonna leak beforehand,
Right.
and
Right.
if it was something like, oh, because we're gonna have you don't even have to highlight like Bob not being in the set. You can highlight, hey, we have Cody's in the set, you guys wanted Cody.
Right.
You can even make the point that Cody was the number one by far.
Oh, 100%. I mean, I don't
And
know.
then
Just objectively, he is 100%.
yeah, and then you can say that, and then you can be like, look, it's the like not even like just tease it. You can do
Right.
something. And then this is just like I'm sure some kids voted for the UCS gunship. It's
Right.
kids like like that's something I think that they make a mistake. Like I think they have demographics wrong with some of the stuff. But I don't know. Again, I just feel like LegoCon it was a waste. Like I don't even know. I don't know if waste is a wrong word. It was just like
Missed opportunity.
it was a wasted opportunity. It was
Right.
misinformed, and you felt like Lego. I don't like. I'm trying not to be too hard on Lego, but it's like they. I feel like they didn't understand who would be watching that event
Right.
because they will never release it, never. But I guarantee you, if you look at like this, if they, it's hard. I guess because like if they were able to look at like the statistics of the age range of people who watched it, you would see that it was mostly like AFOLs
Right.
and like kid like things who were like reveals would have brought the house down, you
Right.
know?
100% they would have. Yeah.
And that's kind of where again it's like now you just have like it's not just like one person like you know speaking out against LegoCon, it's everyone.
Right. I think it was kind of unanimously, people just didn't have like great, strong, positive reactions to it unanimously. I think some people were like, yeah, but we'll give it to them. They tried. But I think some people were very much, and I disagree with this, a very like negative, like way to watch Lego blow something again. Like they just can't even do this. And I'm like, well, this is, I'll give them that. This is their first run. Like,
As like to me, like as much as the first run is like a valid thing, they
right.
also like
They're also a billion-dollar company that,
billion-dollar company, and
right,
they like they shouldn't. They're like they probably spend millions of dollars in advertising.
right.
Their advertising shouldn't be like okay, I'll put it this. You know what everyone was talking about by the end of the day at Lego for LegoCon?
The annoying guy at the first fourth of
Nope,
the show. No,
nope.
no, I have no idea.
They were talking about the Scarlet Witch collectible minifigure.
Oh, right. The league.
They
Yeah,
were talking about that.
right,
That shouldn't happen.
right,
Leaks should like especially like okay, you look at like like something from Marvel.
right,
I'm going to use Disney's Investors Day. I think that's what it is this year. Disney came out and just went, this is our lineup. This is what we're doing. We got all this. Let's go. Hype up Disney, hype up Marvel, hype up Disney Plus. Like Disney Plus is this awesome new thing. And everyone went bananas,
right,
and then and then that's great marketing. Disney was talked about for the next like several days. Everyone was talking about Disney.
right.
And then
No, nobody's talking about LegoCon.
no one's talking about LegoCon. People were talking, it literally lasted. People didn't like it. And then they were like, and then as soon as this leak came out, they're like, all right, we're moving on to this.
Right,
And that shouldn't happen.
right,
You should make, because at some point, you shouldn't make it to the point where people feel like, oh, like, part of me, I don't know, I don't do figure leaks. Like, that's not me. Like
right,
that, that I've seen people get in trouble for that. I'm not opening up that can of worms. But here it was like they, if someone had pictures, like it's something like you should know as a business. Okay, if like can like a simple picture like that like outdo our whole convention?
right. Like they did no kind of like worst case scenario prep almost.
It wasn't, and that's kind of where it was just like again, like I know people are saying, "Oh, give Lego a break," but as much as like I do give Lego a break for the con. It was also something where it was like you just see like it felt so poor, like poor
Right,
planning. Like we we can't like we're gonna, not do anything without land. We're going to essentially falsely advertise. We're going to not run like it should have been like run through like to the point where you feel like hey, like stress on, the computer, like the servers won't crash it.
right. Like how many people can we have watching this for worst case scenario? Like how many
Yeah,
people are
like
gonna watch this,
what
right?
like like I don't know, like look at other streaming events and
Right.
be like, okay,
Hasbro's, right. No
Hasbro,
issues.
how many people did they have and how can we not do that?
Right.
Like it felt I don't know, it felt like it left a bad taste in almost everyone's mouth.
It seemed to me almost like a throwback 90s MTV thing. Like it seemed like 90s MTV, like how the people were acting and just like how the whole thing like went down. Like it just seemed like I turned on
Some
like,
people did not like the host.
well, I don't know. I didn't mind the hosts. It's just,
That was something I saw. I
but it's
thought,
weird because they also didn't have people who hosted who were like Lego fans. Like they just had like, I don't know who were those people. Like I don't even.
I don't know. Like, not saying that it should be like adults or not adults, like people that like it should be designers.
Right. Have Will Arnett do it. He's doing like Lego Masters. Like have Will Arnett do
Will
it.
Arnett could crush that.
Oh my gosh. I'm watching
Like
Arrested Development right now, and it's like really hard to separate Lego Will Arnett from like Arrested Development Will Arnett.
I know. It's like Will Arnett, like I love Will Arnett.
Right,
Like I
100%.
do. And I watch him like I do watch Lego Masters still, and I watch Will Arnett do such a good job on that. He's such like a vibrant person. And
Right.
you think, oh, here, like he could do such a great job. And it's like it's first of all, it's someone famous.
Right.
It's someone people at the very like it's something that um let me pull it up. I like they revealed the hosts.
Hmm.
I made a post about it, and a lot of the comments were, "Who?
Right.
That shouldn't be who, especially for the first one.
Right.
It should be."
Right. There should be some hype around it. Make it like Tyler and Amy who won Lego Masters, last year.
It's like it just like it almost feels like that this was decided that we're gonna do this late,
Right.
like very late. Like honestly, I would say Lego got lucky with the Star Wars reveals. That
Yeah.
number one,
Best case scenario for them, honestly.
well, number one, that it didn't just no one found it.
Right.
I I would bet that it was probably on some website. Like it was on some website. Just no one found it.
Right.
It could there was like I put it I can't remember if I said it to you or not, but I put it at like an 80% chance that it was just going to leak to some retailer before.
Right.
That shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't, and that's why I think like a D2C reveal would have been perfect. Like it's something where it's like Lego controls this.
Right.
No, I don't think any. I I don't know if any direct to consumer set has ever leaked through a retailer. Like the
I mean,
like the pictures.
right. No, not really. No, you're right.
So it's something Lego controls,
Right.
and you just feel like that they got lucky. They got lucky that it was just that one picture
Right.
of like from the land kit, the one official picture, and then they got screwed over with the catalog that it was, you know,
Right.
yeah, it was probably someone making a dumb decision, but still, it you shouldn't reveal something that has that high risk
Right.
because it was very high risk. And I just hope at the end of the day, Lego learns from this. And again, they they do, from my understanding, they pay attention to online stuff. They pay attention to what people say.
I mean, like you see that, like I've seen recently the more influx of like the Star Wars designers commenting on things that are like super like hot takes in the community. Like we just saw today, like, yeah, sure, maybe May the Fourth figures will be, come back, kind of a thing. Like, or they talked about, like battle packs will be returning. Like they know what's going on at corporate in some
Yeah.
capacity or another.
And then that's why number one, I think that they should have learned for this one. But number two, I think that hopefully they'll learn for the next one. And at the very least, separate it. Do a kid one with all the goofy little whatever,
Right.
and then do an adult one where
Right.
it's like, hey, we're gonna show you like the designer. Like I think designer like tidbits of info are awesome. If you
Right.
follow my page, you know that. Like I literally posted two things. I think two things. Yeah, two things about. I posted like a couple things in the past couple days. There's something I want to post about R2, but I was too lazy to.
Right. No, there's 100%. Like designer tidbits are really cool because, like, I don't
And
know.
it's like I think adult fans love that. Like, yeah, you do like some cool big set reveals, and then oh, designer interviews, some big set reveals, designer reveals. Perfect con, Lego's hyped. It doesn't end like this.
Right.
On a side note, did you ever? You want to hear something funny? That just
Yeah.
I have to find the article. This is actually I was thinking about one of the. This is one of the. No, that's just ads. Where is it? Where is it? Why can't I find this? It's so why Lego hasn't updated R2D2. It's really funny.
Wait. Oh, I saw that. The was it? I don't
Okay, here. So the Lego says updating R2D2 would split the fan base.
like changing the stormtrooper helmet or the X-Men pilot helmet.
Yes. And again, that's the thing. It's like they pay attention.
Right.
They pay attention.
But do you think people would like legitimately be like upset if they like redid R2D2? Like, do you think they would genuinely be like upset as if it was
Just
done
listen to
right?
this quote. The fans are split on updating elements, especially when it deals with characters that are very classic. There is certain affection to the nostalgic value of some of these characters. And when we update an old element, we always are very conscious to make sure that we don't lose the Lego DNA that is part of that element. It still has to look like a Lego piece.
Right. I think it's interesting though because like I don't know I don't see that much like hate anymore about the stormtrooper helmet or something. Every once in a while you have some like dude who's butthurt about it, and it happened like what 2 years ago now, and it's like all
But
right,
again, I think it's funny that they like they know enough about the community to know that there might be a fan divide there, but they still think that LegoCon like they did LegoCon the way that they did.
right,
That's just it's just bad marketing. Bad marketing.
100%, very
And
bad
then
marketing.
so yeah, we can just hope for next year.
All right, I mean, what do you
And
think? What do you
maybe
think they're
they'll
gonna?
learn. Maybe
What do you think they're gonna do next year? Like genuinely,
this.
again? You just think they're just gonna make the same whole thing again? Maybe no crash this time.
Well, it's gonna be basically it's gonna be the same like they and that's what's one of the most infuriating things about being like as big of a Lego fan as I am. It's like at the end of the day, I know Lego's gonna do the same thing.
At
They're
least until
not
LegoCon 4, then they'll change it up.
they like they as much as they listen to the fans, they also like they do their thing. And in this case, they wanted to do this in their way. And like as much as yeah, we're AFOLs, they they're gonna make a convention for little kids because they think that little kids are gonna be watching it.
Right,
And that's sad. It's like you would think like next like if I was Lego and I saw this reaction, first of all, I would reveal the gunship right away. I would. It would be like tomorrow.
right,
And then it would be something where it was like, I'm sorry, we have to do this. We feel like we haven't respected the fans. We felt like we misled the fans, and we want to say we're sorry.
right,
That would be one. And then number two, I would do two conventions. I would do an adult convention where it's designer interviews,
right,
and then I would do like say like, hey, multiple DTC like at least multiple direct to consumer sets revealed.
right.
I
Or a
would
wave of sets or something, right?
yeah, something like that. And then I would just do the kid one and then maybe do like something silly,
Right.
Like I'm sure like do like Mickey Mouse or whatever. Just and we'll see. We'll see if Lego responds, and I don't think they will, but what about you? What do you think they'll do?
I think they're gonna change it up a little bit more. I think they're gonna probably go. I think it's not gonna have any technical issues this time around. Yeah, I think there's gonna be less stream on the network because like not as many people are gonna watch it next time. I think they're gonna throw out maybe one reveal, like a real reveal, but probably like only one. I'm gonna go ahead and say, and I think there's just gonna be like the same amount of like garbage, but like instead of the Lego sets, the Star Wars sets being revealed through Taiwanese catalog before, they're gonna be revealed like actually through Lego. I think it's gonna be the same exact thing if it went right, kind of a situation.
But it's like it wasn't just the like Taiwanese catalog. Like people leaked it before. Band members leaked it.
Right.
It's always going to be happening, and hopefully, like they do keep it close to the chest because I will say I know at least like let me find the tweet. I know this doesn't speak for everyone in land, um, but Ash and Flash tweeted, where was it? Um, where was it? It was, oh, also as an ambassador, we were sent to, no, that wasn't it. There's a specific tweet. Um, huh. I can't find it. But it was basically him saying like, as I can't remember if it was a tweet or not. I guess it might not have been, but it was him saying like, yeah, I wouldn't have been mad if like Lego didn't include land and everything.
Right.
So at least some people in land feel that way. I'm sure that there are others who don't, and I know there are people who complain.
Right.
But we'll see.
We'll see.
All right, so let's turn to a positive note here and get this horrible taste of Lego con out of our mouths and talk about what what our top sets are for this year.
I got 10, so if you
I
guys
have I hold on, I have to find my list. I wrote it. Oh
just
yeah.
a fair warning to everybody, it's basically all Star Wars sets. As it's a shocker, I'm sure. There's two non-Star Wars sets, but
So I did 15, but I'll
okay.
just mainly because like it was hard. I don't know. I just kind of did this, but I'll say number 11 or no, number 15. I'll go through the top five quickly.
All right.
Number 15 was the Ninjago of the Temple of the Infinite Sea. That's number 15. I'm excited for that because of the fact that the animal, like the creature builds, I think Ninjago does a great job with them. It reminds me a lot of the Great Devourer set, which I loved growing up, and Atlantis, which is another theme I grew up with. Number 14 is the Mandalorian Starfighter. I think I'm actually looking forward to that set, but I think it has a few technical issues, like especially with like the thing not closing 100%, and also some of the way like the landing gear, it looks a little odd.
There's no landing
I'm
gear.
still again, it's nothing bad. Like I'm still
Right.
gonna buy it and I'm looking forward to it, but it's just not as high up. 13 was the Avengers Dragonflyer.
Mhm.
Good set. Wish it was something, sure he wasn't the only exclusive, but I like it. It's just, it's a smaller set, and like I don't know, it's a good set, but it's not a special set.
Right.
Number 12 is the Ninjago Hydro Bounty. I think it's a great set to get all six ninja in. I like the look of it, and I like the big like raider sets that they do, and that reminds me of that. So yeah. And finally, number 11 is the Disney Plus Hulkbuster. Um, I love the minifigure selection, and I love like I it falls to number 11 for me because I know I might have to buy two of the sets to get number one to get the car and then this and then but I feel like they've also done better Hulkbusters.
Right. I don't know. I don't think that's like one of their top Hulk busters.
No, it's a good set, but it's not like, and the
Love the
fact that
colors.
it's what if and like yeah, there's just a lot. It's not a bad set, but there's just a few things that are bringing it down. So that's mine. So I'll let you start with your number 10.
So my number 10 set is a set that I will not personally be getting. My girlfriend Elaine will probably get it, and then I get to see it. The typewriter. I really think regular objects translate into Lego is a really cool feat to do. Like I think that's just incredible when you can do that. So and I love the color sand green. So I'm really excited to see that kind of like come to fruition 100%.
I will say, like, that is a set I won't personally buy because it's like I don't really have a use for it. But
Right.
from what I've told, people love it. I love the fact that it's printed keys. It's not a set for me, but I will admit it's a beautiful looking set.
Right. What about you?
Number 10, this is I know that this is gonna be surprising, but again, for me, this isn't like the best looking sets. This is about sets I want the most.
Hmm.
And number 10 for me is the Benatar.
Oh, that's so good. I've thought about buying that one.
And it's so it has like they could have done the Milano.
I guess, but the Benatar is kind of more like recent MCU.
It's more, yeah, it's more recent, but
Right.
it's like the Milano could have been better.
Right.
That's it's just it's a good set, but it's like I don't know. I just don't have like the hype. Like I think it's a beautiful set. It's gonna look great on the thing, but it's just it doesn't have the hype level, I guess, that like some of the other sets on my list have.
Right.
And then
It's kind of interesting because they're going back and doing Infinity Saga sets and going back, and it's like, well, if you could have done that, you could have given us the Milano if you're like going back.
exactly, and then you could have
Right.
given like a fresh Guardians lineup.
Right.
That would have been perfect.
Right.
All right, what's your number 9?
Now, number 9 is Duel Mandalore. Um, I know this is a hot take because I know a lot of people are like, well, this is $20 for like, a small pile of bricks. Um, my biggest issue is I display minifigures separately from sets. And so I think like that throne and that vault are iconic enough that they can sit on a shelf by themselves with no minifigures accompanying it. And I think that's like a huge thing because most of the dual sets for Star Wars, you just put them on a shelf and they just look weird without the figures on them. They look like a little piece of scenery with some stuff, like falls down or like moves. But no, the duel on Mandalore, I just think it's an iconic like fixture from the Clone Wars. So the Mando throne room is my number 9 pick.
I'll admit I'm gonna buy that set and I like it. But for me, part of the reason why it didn't make my list is number one, the Ahsoka minifigures are reused, but
Right.
also it feels like I want to see it in person because I'm not sure how exactly it seems like a $10 set.
It does.
And like that's something like I want to see it in person to see if okay, this is supposed to be a $10 set.
Right.
Because it feels like it's just like it feels like it needs like just a little bit more something.
Right.
I
It's really
can't put it
cool.
I can't put it on, but that's why it didn't make my list.
Right. All right. What's your number 9?
The Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay.
The I like it's I the helmets are cool
Hmm.
and but I like the objects and it's just like the fact that you can make it like snapping and it's like the Infinity Gauntlet is like it's just like a Marvel fanboy like myself. It's like that's just something that we've been like, especially like the 10-year build up to Endgame and all and Infinity War and all of that. It's just it's such like a cool like I don't really buy display sets like that like without minifigures or stuff like that like but this is something where it's like this is a really cool like I love the build for it.
Right. No, I don't know. I know when like we first heard about it. I remember because I know that you're not a big like display set kind of like a non minifigure display set kind of a guy. But I remember you were pretty hyped when you heard about that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, because it's a cool like yeah like I'm not going like okay like I'm considering like I don't know like there's a certain like value that minifigures add for me but it's also um like I don't know like there's just certain things like it has to look really good on display
Oh, it
if I'm gonna
does. Right.
shell out money for something that's not like minifigure and I feel like I'm considering buying the Boba Fett helmet like
I
that
would. It's
because
great.
I like Boba Fett and I love him in the Mandalorian, but that's something where it's like if like I'm not gonna have any problems with like the slave one, but that is something where it's like, like
Right.
it's just something, and it feels like the helmets to me, my biggest problem with them is I've always felt like $60 was too small.
Right. Like
Like
you
how
could have
about
got could have beefed it up.
the Hasbro Legends line? It's like you can just do like it doesn't have to be wearable, but it could just be bigger.
Right. Like life size or
Yeah.
something.
But with the gauntlet, it's like I feel like that's just gonna look awesome.
Right.
All right, what's your number 8? I think
And number 8, going along with the fact that I love real life items translated to Lego form, is the Adidas shoes. Uh, I'm actually going tomorrow morning to pick them up tomorrow, so I'm pretty
are you
pumped
buying
for that.
2?
No, I'm just buying one. Um, I mean, you get the little mini one with it, so like part of me is like, that kind of counts. I just don't want to build the same set twice, and like it's
It's the
80
same
bucks.
set as do you do left or do right shoe?
I think I'm gonna do left because just think it's gonna look cooler displayed with
I
the
feel like both are gonna look cool. Like
right,
it's something I don't know. Like I want to watch reviews of it. I'm not sure, but that's a set where it's like I feel like I would if I buy it, I would have to buy both,
right.
and
No, and
that's
I'm kind of a sneakerhead, so like having the shoes revealed is like, oh, that's pretty cool, right?
yeah, that's the type of like Lego collector I am. Like it's something like I would know. Like damn it, like I would have to buy both. Like I would have to buy two. Pick one the left, one the right.
Yeah. What about you? What's your number 8?
Then Moff Gideon's Imperial Light Cruiser.
Okay.
I again, it's like it's not a bad set. It's a really good looking set. I think it has great figures. I'm excited for it. It's just to the point where it's like it's just not like I have a couple other sets that I'm just more hyped for.
Right.
It's something like it might be one of those like there's like 7 other sets that if I see it, like I might buy before it, but it's still like a good set. Like I think it's like I love Moff Gideon, I love Fennec, I love the Dark Trooper, the I love the builds to it. Yeah, it feels different enough. Like I bought the Snoke's ship um for the Last Jedi, and this feels different enough where I'm excited for it. But again, it's just like I don't know. It's just not like it's it's a good amount of hype, but there's more sets to be hyped about in my book.
Right. No, I've got again, it's on the list for me. But I got my thoughts on it, and I'll
Yeah.
spill that later.
All right, number 7.
The Boba Fett starship. I'm really excited. I know. I this set's interesting because it's like I don't know. I've been collecting Lego Star Wars since 2008, so I have two already. Well, two minifigure scale slave ones, plus a plethora of micro and MIDI builds, and then the UCS slave one. So having another one of these slave ones is kind of whatever. But again, the reason it makes the list though is just it comes with that Boba Fett with the arm printing, and that is just you can't beat that. I know the colors are off a little bit. Lego has always done that, but no, you can't beat that slave one or that big Boba Fett figure. You can't.
Actually, I will say, but that ship is on my list and it's coming up. But
Ooh,
and I'll express my thoughts when that gets there.
so it's your number 7.
Number 7 is Thor's house.
Okay, okay. I think that I'm actually probably gonna get that set just because.
It's such first of all, it's first of all, I like it because I'm I think I was one of the first people to actually break that rumor,
Right,
and people did not believe me.
right,
And the fact that number 1 it's real, that's like you know, a little sly
credible,
there.
credible.
Credible. And then it's like but it's such like a cool like niche set. Like the fact that number 1 you get a shirtless Thor.
Right. It's
Then
almost like a meme. It's
it's
almost
a
like
meme set.
it is, and that's like the first time I've seen like a meme set, honestly.
And then you get Korg, our first Korg, and then he has dual molded arms. And then Meek is funny, and then it's like there's like it's just such like a niche set. I love it.
Right. No, I think that's really cool.
I love it, and it's going to be one of those like I'm just gonna like I'm tempted like I sometimes I leave mini like I have a minifigure like drawer system, but sometimes like I'll leave the minifigures in the sets. I think with Thor's house, I'm gonna leave it there because that's just such like so niche, and it's like it's so funny. Like I'm really hyped that it's coming.
Right. I'm yeah, no, I think I'll probably be actually getting that set. That should have made the list for me.
What is it? Are we up to six now?
We're up to six.
Six. What's your six?
My six is the Vader's Chamber. This set looks like, I don't know, from a completion standpoint, like again, it's something I want. It's a cool scene for me. I know this set's gonna be like pretty. I know that set's gonna go for a lot of money. The thing is, like when that set like retires inevitably, I know it's gonna go for a ton of money. I think it's cool that we got a figure that I never thought we would get. We're getting a Captain Veers in like his like normal fatigues and not his like combat armor, which is very very cool for me. I like getting like little variants of figures like that, and then another arm printing Vader. I can't go wrong with that, not at all.
I agree. I like the set. I mean, it's not something I don't think I'm gonna buy.
Right,
It's one of those nice 18 plus sets where it's like it looks good. Yeah, it looks like it's not my cup of tea, but it's one of like again with the typewriter. Like I'll say it looks good,
right,
and I feel like it's like the 18 plus. I think it's 18 plus.
yeah,
It works.
it really
It
does.
works and it works well, and that's one of those things where it's like, all right, like I support that.
Right. All right. What's your sixth?
Boba Fett's ship.
Uh-oh. All right. I'm ready to hear it. I'm ready to hear
Both so both first of all, like as like I loved Boba Fett in The Mandalorian,
it. Hmm.
so I'm really happy that it's coming. I don't have like a built Slave One at the moment, so that's gonna be nice.
That's a good intro one too. Like it's not like
Yeah,
gonna
it's
take up
like
a
it's
bunch of space.
perfect. And then it's like the Boba Fett minifigure that sells it for me. And
Right.
then my first Slave One, and it's not a bad looking Slave One either.
Which one
It's
do you have? The 2006 one?
no, this one. Like I had
Oh,
like the 2000 like uh the one before. What was the one before the anniversary?
the 2010 one. It came with Bosk and Han.
That was the one
And
I had.
yeah.
And that I don't. I think that's destroyed. Um, that was before I was like serious about it.
Right.
But like it's something where it's like it's a good like starter to it, and at the same time, it's like the fact that the original rumor, which I think that's part of the reason why, like I don't
Right.
want to say it was like you they definitely did change it.
Hmm.
I will 100% believe that.
Well, I mean, this is public knowledge. They changed the price count because I think they changed it to the Mandalorian, who was like one extra piece technically with the cape compared to Han
Yeah,
Solo. They totally changed it because
they
it went
totally
up by a
changed it. And the
piece.
fact that like they changed it for the Mandalorian, I loved the Mandalorian. I loved Boba in the show.
Right.
I think it's a good looking set, and it's just like it's my first like legitimate display Slave One. It has me hyped,
Right.
and I think like that's when you know like I know people just like when you talk about like most wanted sets, it's like it's not about what sets look the best to you. It's
Right.
about what sets like you just can't wait to go out and buy.
Right. What gets you hyped for day one? Right.
Yeah. All
Right.
right. So, what is your number five?
Well, number five is I don't want to say it's like a tie, but it's like a switch up. It's either the gunship. The gunship is 100% number five if it has Cody in it. And I hate saying this, but I will 100% pay $350 for Cody. And yeah, pretty cool looking display like UCS gunship. But if it's literally just kind of like what the figures were originally like mentioned as a generic clone captain and Mace Windu, I think I might pass on it for a little while longer and I would buy, and then the Forge would take that place. But I know the Mandalorian Forge is coming out a little later, so I kept it off the list. But for five, assuming it includes Cody, which I think there's a chance that it might. I'm gonna put the gunship.
See, I didn't include the gunship on my list because it's something like I have to see it. Like
Right.
I'm not like Star Wars isn't my first theme.
Right.
It's Marvel and like Star Wars and like other themes. There's a revolving door of
Right.
themes I like, with Marvel being consistently one. And with the gunship, it's like I feel like I'm gonna buy it because I have high hopes for it.
Right.
So I just like that. Like for me, I left off the gunship, the Marvel CMF, the Hydra Stomper, and like the Spider-Man sets because I want to see them.
Right. Just to kind of judge them.
Yeah, because I like again, like it was some like I'll give it with like the slave one. I was not expecting like I was thinking about buying it just for slave one, you know,
Right.
because of Boba and the show. But for this, it's like okay, you know, I want like it's something where I just gotta see it.
Right. No, it's fair. All right. What's your number 5?
Number 5 for me, it's gonna be a little surprising. It's Bowser's airship
Okay.
from the Mario. Like this is like a really good display piece for Mario,
Mhm. I would agree
and
with that,
I
especially
I
if you
do
hold it
I
up.
do enjoy the Mario sets, but with the Bowser ship, it's like okay, this is like a legitimately good display piece. Like I think we've had like one or two of them in my opinion,
Right.
but like this is like it's probably like the best build to me that Mario's done. So I'm really like I think okay, maybe include like a Bowser build, but I already have Bowser, so I don't know. It's just one of those things. Like again, it's like you can't explain it, but it's like all right, Bowser's airship. I'm hyped for that. Like
Right.
especially growing up, like I love Mario. Like I loved what they've done with Mario so far,
Mhm.
and I grew up with Mario, and it's like all right, I know the airships. Like I know all that. I'm excited for that.
Right.
All right, what is your number 4?
My number 4 is the Gideon Cruiser. I have mixed feelings on it. It just looks kind of bland. Like it, as far as the capital ships that Lego makes, um, this one looks really like, to me, like a bunch of plates stacked on top of each other, which is something like I don't know. It's not bad, and that's not at all what I'm trying to say. But it just looks a little too simple for for me to be like hyped about it, I guess, or like hyping it up more than I already have. The inside also, that's the other thing too, is like if you have a set this big, you hopefully should have a better interior than just like one panel. But yeah, I get with like stability, and I think it's interesting how they did the handle using the bridge. I thought that was like a really cool idea. Then I get when if you did that, like that whole bridge area and the area beneath it needs to be all Technic. But no, I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't know. It needed a little more, but
I will agree. Like especially like with all star destroyers and like those big imperial vehicles, it's like you just I don't know. It's like you have to like that's part of it. Like I feel like you got to see it in hand
right,
almost. It's
100%.
something like you could be hyped for, but you got to see it in hand.
Right. What about you? What's your number 4?
Number 4 is the Ironmonger Mayhem set.
Oh, I like that set. Yeah.
I like people are complaining. Like I've seen a lot of complaining. Like oh it's not like big like it's too big yada yada yada. It's like it's what Lego does with those types of mechs,
Right.
and I think it looks cool. Like I love the first Iron Man. It's our first like original Iron Man set. I'm hyped for it, and I think it looks good. I like the Jeff Bridges minifigure, our first one of those.
Mhm.
um and it's like it uses a new face print. Like they could have easily given us like an inaccurate, like use like the vulture headpiece or something like that. They could have
Right.
easily done something like that, but instead they give us a new face print that looks good and accurate. They give us a new Mark III. The Pepper isn't bad, and it's like it's a throwaway figure, but it's still like they could have just given us two, you know.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Yeah. No, I did you order the sets off like Zavvi and get them delivered early, or are you waiting?
I'm waiting.
Okay.
I've seen like part of it is like I just don't want to pay that. Like I'm not a reviewer.
Right.
I don't review stuff. Like that's not my. I don't have like a YouTube channel like that. Like I'm not like an Action
Right.
Flash or Justin. But yeah, I don't see the need for it. Like I don't see the need for it. I can wait. Like it also gives me like time to really determine if I'm gonna buy it. But this
Right.
is like, yeah, I'm gonna wait till like a month or so from now.
Right. Hmm, I respect that. 100%.
Well, I guess we're moving into our top three.
Top three. Um, my third favorite is, and this is a total nostalgic set for me. The Trexler Marauder, or the Imperial Armored Marauder.
Mm-hmm.
Try saying that like 5 times fast. Um, that is such a nostalgic set for me. Just because when I was like younger, I would have loved that set that you can put all the figures that you get in the set into it. And I mean, like, go back for Star Wars, where historically, like, I mean, even the Moff Gideon cruiser is kind of lacking like an interior, and you had the Knights of Ren ship that you couldn't fit. I think you could fit like one or two figures in there. But like this one, you can probably, again, with squeezing it in, look, and like maybe taking the chair pieces out of the set, you could probably, with very little to no modifying, fit like 8 stormtroopers in here. And like for a young Sam, that is exactly what I want. Like 100%. So it's a very nostalgic set for me. I think it's built really well. I like all the little compartments. The mortar trooper is really cool, and I don't know. I'm a big Carl Weathers fan, so getting another Grief Karga is never a bad thing.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think I will purchase that set at some point,
Mhm.
but it's not it didn't make my list, but I think it looks good. I did see a lot of people complain like it looks too like not sloppy, but like unfinished in a way. But
This,
I like the look over it. I like that episode of like a lot of the Star Wars stuff I buy is like, do I like that for in like media,
right,
you know? And
right,
in this case, it's like, yeah, like I do like it. It's not my favorite of sets, but I think it looks good.
but I think there's also an important aspect that, like, it's kind of supporting with your wallet. Like, you're showing by buying that set that you want more, Mandalorian, Disney Plus related like sets. So I don't know. I think it's important to do that.
And I do like it. And I think a lot of people, that's a set people will buy multiples of.
Right. All right. What about your third?
Adventures with the Ouija.
Okay. So you're excited about that expansion?
Like I said, like my this list is all over the place. Luigi was my go-to character for Mario games, Luigi and Yoshi. So the
Mhm.
fact that we're getting like a playable Luigi is great. Like I do like the course system, I'll admit, with Mario, and I think the fact that now it's Luigi, you can do all the two players, it's great. Like I'm just like, yeah, I'm essentially paying $60 for like the electronic figure, but to me, that's worth it.
Right.
Like it's cool, and I'm just again, it's not about what looks the best; it's about what we're hyped for. For me,
Right.
I'm hyped for Luigi.
I think I don't know. I think it's really cool that they're like allowing for that to be the whole system to be 2 player. That's kind of game changing.
And I really hope like this is something that they continue and give like because Nintendo, they're gonna go to minifigures at some point.
Right.
Like it's then they want to do this, and you feel like, all right, first like they're gonna do this, and I hope that they do more characters. And I love the character system that they do.
Right.
All right, so we're on to our final two.
My second to favorite set. Is the Bad Batch shuttle conveniently available to purchase? Question mark on Walmart.com.
We will see in about 2 days.
No, Bad Batch shuttle. I love that they just basically gave us the whole Bad Batch, or as I phrased it to my girlfriend Elena recently, the only Bad Batch that matters. Since like like everyone was mad that Crosshair wasn't in his Bad Batch uniform. Like, all right, well if you watch the show, he isn't really in his uniform aside from the first episode. Like at the beginning of the first episode, by the end of the first episode, he's already in his Imperial fatigue. So I do not mind that Crosshair is in his Imperial uniform. No, I love this set. I At first I was like, why would you include a Gonk droid? Turns out there's a Gonk droid that's very prevalent in their ship. I don't know. I think it's like a perfect set for $100. Like I have no issue with it. Like the figures all look amazing. Like 100%. That is such a good set.
Actually, I will say the Bad Batch shuttle is my number 2 as well.
Wow.
Yeah. See, Star Wars. I'm a Star Wars fan too. I'm loving the TV show. I will admit, and I think that first of all, the figure selection is great. I think that it's that's a big standout for everyone is the figures, and it's like I do like the fact that we're getting an Imperial Crosshair. Like
Mhm.
it's like the regular one you can just throw in some poly bag or like if they ever do a CMF for Star Wars, it's gonna be Disney Plus. You can easily include it there. But the
Right.
fact that it's like Imperial and like the fact like some of the best episodes have been when Crosshair's gone up against the Bad Batch.
Right.
Like that's to me where it's like okay, like yeah, like it's cool. And then like I like the ship build, like it's a like it's not like a nostalgic iconic, but it's like a recent iconic, you know, like
Right.
it's a like I enjoy the show, so it's like yeah, like ooh, like
Right.
and I'm hyped, and I'm really curious to see if it actually goes through for some people.
I am too.
And I'll probably go to Walmart tomorrow and see if it's on shelves.
I think it'd be interesting. I don't know. It says not available anywhere around me. I'm checking out right now on my phone.
Yeah, but does it say not available or does it say not available for pickup?
Let me see. Pickup not available. And it
Yeah,
says store availability unknown for all of the stores near me.
exactly. That's what it's weird. It's like I feel like it doesn't. It's like the Jim Carrey meme. Like so, you're saying there's a chance.
Right, right,
Like I know Walmart is famously unreliable for stocking and all of that, but
right,
it's just kind of like, why did this show up?
right. Marvel's What If, basically.
Yeah, it's like, why did this show up? Well, no, like, why did this show up for purchase? Like, why can we purchase this through Walmart?
Right.
Like, I'm like, part of me is like, did Lego make like, especially with the fact that it showed up on June 30th?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's something like, can we buy this on like, is this going to show up in stores tomorrow?
Right.
Like,
I
it's
don't know.
something where it's like I'm intrigued.
No, I'm interested to see what's gonna happen. I'm
And
really
I
interested.
and yeah, like I think I have some time tomorrow, so I'm gonna go to Walmart and see. It might be a waste of my time, but I'd rather know than not know.
Right.
All right, so now I think we have our number one picks for this week or for the summer.
My number one set is the Mando fighter. I have a huge soft spot for Mandalorians. I love that ship. I have the 2012 one. The Gar Saxon and the Bo Katan and the Loyalists too. Like all three figures are unique. They're all like fully printed out. Oh my gosh, that's a dream set. Like yeah, there's some issues with it, and I'm not gonna like pretend like I don't see those. Like yeah, there's that canopy is pretty weak, and there's no landing gear. But again, the set's only like $60, which
Yeah,
is a steal. $60 for three all new figures and like a pretty like solid vehicle. Piece counts like 544, so like you're getting value there, I think.
yeah,
So
that's good for a Star Wars set.
right, Mando Fighter, 100% most hype set. I will be getting that one in the Trexler day one.
Like yeah, like I do like I people say, like, yeah, I'm not 100, like, it's not, like, I'm gonna buy it. It's not just my most type set. I think it's great. Like, I do love the bow figure, and I'm glad that they gave us, like, they could have just given us another, like, version of bow, like a Mandalorian bow, and that
Mhm.
wouldn't have been bad, but it would have just probably included, the usual
Right.
Mandalorian stuff. But this, it's like they gave us a Clone Wars one. That
Right.
way, they get the Clone Wars fans and the Mandalorian fans, and you give us a really good helmet print for Gar.
Right.
And then the Loyalist looks great too.
Right. No, I'm really excited about that set. But what's your number one Falcon? What's your high descent?
If you've paid attention to my list, there's something that is really missing. And that would be the Avengers compound, the Avengers Final Battle.
With that new Thanos.
Yeah, ever since I heard the rumblings that we're getting a final battle set, I was like, ooh.
Right.
And it's the fact that I didn't believe the rumors originally of the helmetless Thanos that would look like this, but my God, I love that Thanos. I love the minifigure selection. Like, yeah, we're getting I love the Thor. I love the Captain America. I'm okay with the Iron Man being a reprint because it's like we only got one of those before.
Right.
It's not like it's the Square Equinox or whatever. The Iron Man, it's like it's only one, and he does come with a cool shield. And
Build.
then
Yeah.
yeah, and then the Scarlet Witch is not as bad as people say. Like, I enjoy it.
Hmm.
Yeah, and it's just like that's just the best Marvel. That's the best Marvel set and best set for me.
Wow. How much is that set? Is that $100?
No, it's like 70.
Oh, that's so cheap too for so
Yeah,
many like cute things.
yeah, it's like it's weirdly overpriced, like in the euros, I think. I think
Right.
it's like 90 euros or something like that. But it's like $70. It's like, yes, you know,
Right.
like that's something that's like, yeah,
I think it's been interesting. People using that set and then the old Avengers compound set and making like one big one. That's really cool,
yeah.
personally.
I mean, I have a feeling that like if this was at the end of the summer, like if we did this again with like, all right, now that we've built everything, like
Mhm.
including things like the gunship and like the like Marvel Disney Plus collectible minifigures, I have a feeling the Disney Plus collectible minifigures would be number one.
Right. The Mando Forge would definitely crack pretty high on mine.
Because I'll say it's like I, people don't like that Wanda,
Right.
but I knew that was going to be what we were going to get for Wanda. Like, the fact is, people are like, oh, why isn't it, coming off? Like, why isn't it like dual molded and all of that? And then you
Right.
look at it, it's like that's in a collectible minifigure pack.
Right. Right. Five
That could
bucks.
break.
Right.
And
Right.
I doubt Lego wants to deal with that. So, but I think it's perfect. And we're gonna get the Sam Wilson cap, the White Vision, the Loki, the female Loki.
Right.
All is just, yes, there's some glaring up like things missing, like a John Walker or an Agatha or a Zemo or even a
Right.
regular Vision. But it's like, number one, I feel like they will make sets for Disney Plus shows, especially for these.
Right. No, I gotta
I
agree.
do, because I feel like even they said about it was, I think it was in one of like the Lego like media days, they talked about like, yeah, like we can't put out sets that quickly as like, it takes them to film, like it's like longer for movies and stuff like that.
Right.
So I believe like they'll come back, like they'll come back and give us like one Falcon and the Winter Soldier set, include John Walker and Zemo. They'll give us one WandaVision set and include like Agatha. They'll do like one Loki one and include like Mobius.
Right. No, I think we're gonna get a Loki set for sure. Just given how like again well received Loki's been.
I'm curious. Um, yeah,
Well, I mean, I
And
hope.
then,
Oh, go ahead.
oh no, and I was gonna say, the fun thing is like, especially now, it's like we're right around the corner. Like we're about like a month away, I want to say,
Right.
like maybe even less from getting like our first 2022 information. I think that's usually how it goes for stuff like that, if I remember correctly.
Right.
So it's like the fact that you're still close, the fact like the fact that you can still like theorize about that, I think is cool. And I'm just excited for like in a month. It's like, hey, you know, and also with Marvel like 10-year, we're getting this, we're getting that, you know.
Right. Yeah. No, it'll be exciting. And I mean, we just went over all the summer stuff, and we've got a whole nother. I mean, let's say this round ends in July and August. That's when this ends. So then we have September, October, November, December. And those are
Yeah.
usually lighter. Those are usually lighter release windows, but it'll be interesting to see how Lego kind of caps off. Honestly, for a lot, because I mean, for Marvel, the Eternal sets are releasing, correct?
And the Spider-Man Far From Home sets.
Right. And for Star Wars, I mean,
Well, I misspoke. The Spider-Man Far From Home set.
ooh, is that a little like special podcast reveals thing?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe things
Um,
aren't exactly what they seem.
and for Star Wars, I mean, unless we get a surprise set, which I would love, we're looking at getting we're getting the AT-AT UCS set, which might not be an AT-AT, who knows? But you know, we've got some more cool stuff coming up, obviously, for the end of the year. So it'll be exciting to see how that
Yeah.
rounds out. And then even more excitingly is the January 2022 stuff will probably be out in the next what month, I would assume.
I have a feeling that it's gonna be bad, like heavily Bad Batch and Book of Boba, and like I don't know, it's gonna be heavily Bad Batch with a Book of Boba Fett set,
Mm, okay.
and then like a Mando, some sort of man, like they're gonna do something. We're gonna get like Moff Gideon, like a smaller set. That's my guess.
Right.
Um,
What about for Marvel? Do you know any? What do you have any idea what?
it's gonna be 10. They'll do 10 years. I have a feeling they're gonna. This is something I was actually kind of laughing about today. Um,
Mhm.
I realized we're gonna get like 3 Batmobile sets for DC next year.
For this year?
No, for 2022.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Huh.
and it makes sense because there's they're gonna do a new Batmobile set for the Batman movie that was supposed to come out this year. One of the 3 sets.
Hmm.
Um, and that, and that was pushed to 2022.
Hmm.
They're gonna do a Batmobile set for the anniversary
Right.
because we're gonna celebrate a lot of anniversaries next year.
2012 is a big
I
year.
think yeah, Minecraft, Marvel, and DC. Lots of golden figures. Um, and so that they're gonna do, um, that they're gonna do something like a Batmobile
Mhm.
with DC, like
Right.
for 10 years.
Right.
Then, um, that actually like a lot of someone leaked a lot of like the Flash movie
Hmm.
concept art, and what do you know? It includes a new Keaton Batmobile. Lego's going to do that.
Right.
Yeah, the pandemic might have moved it, but I guarantee you we're going to get 3 Batmobiles next year.
I could see that. That's in addition to what? 2 tumblers this year?
Yeah, a big one and a small one.
Right. So that's
Actually, I would say we get 4 Batmobiles next year.
oh. What would the other one be?
Hmm.
What do you think the other one would be? The
No, I'm trying to think of how. Let's just say, I think we will get a big version of the uh, Batman movie one.
okay. All right.
Yeah, it might, yeah,
All right.
in some fashion. But I think it is the fun point where I think like even with Star Wars, like I feel like I feel like we're gonna get like a Rex's shuttle. I feel like they're gonna do Rex and Cad Bane.
I hope they do both.
I
It's
feel
been
like they're
so
gonna do.
long overdue for a Phase 2 Rex.
It's like it's like it's also like I feel like perfect sets that they could scale down and do in the winter.
Right. No, they would. Then they'd sell well because they'd have like super exclusive figures in them.
And then you can literally include like Omega in one of them, and like, yeah,
Right.
I don't know. I feel like it's going to be, and then the book of Boba Fett set, you can include like a new Boba, a new Fennec, and then like a bad guy.
Right.
Is Obi-Wan coming out next year?
It is. It's filming right now.
Uh,
Um,
did you small spoiler alert, but did you hear who the villain of that was supposed to be? Or
Hayden
one of the villains?
Christensen, right?
Well, yeah, and Cody.
Yeah, yeah. Tomorrow Morrison will be coming back for that.
So we know at least, what is it? Maybe 2023 Cody at the very least.
It could be just like a bad. It would be like a. It could be like a Kenobi Cody though. Oh, I see
Yeah,
what you're
no,
saying.
that's what I
What if
mean.
What if they
Cody,
released a Kenobi Cody before a Phase 3 Cody?
and it's gonna like I heard it was like it's they love doing that now, like taking like a named clone and just having them hunt down people.
Right.
No, but I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see what Lego has, and I'm definitely one of the things that I like to do, especially around this time, is like, before any information, like it's at the point like where I know like information could start flowing, like if in a couple weeks.
Mhm.
So I like to get like my predictions ready and like what I think we're gonna get.
Right.
So I'm probably gonna do that soon. I'm looking forward to that.
I'm excited to see it. I've got a spreadsheet of what I think's coming out, but we'll see what comes to fruition.
Maybe that can be a podcast.
Ooh, I like that idea.
That could be next week's.
All right.
All right. We can do. You want to do Star Wars? I'll do Marvel, and then we can comment on each other's.
Sounds good to me.
Maybe we can find someone to do DC, or just I'll do DC.
Sure. I could
All
pick
right.
out some other themes. I could do some like DGC stuff.
Yeah, do some
Right.
Mario. I'll do some Mario stuff, I think.
Right.
All
Alrighty.
right, so 2022 predictions next week. Tune in.
Alrighty. Well, I think we're gonna end it there. Do you agree, Falcon?
Yep.
Alrighty. Well, thank you guys for listening today. It was a lot of fun talking about what went wrong with LegoCon, but what's going right later this year in terms of the actual products. That was kind of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's fun to be back, and hopefully, no more hiatuses.
No more hiatuses, hopefully.
No more extreme hiatuses.
Extreme, yes. Alrighty, everybody.
All
Thanks
right,
for
peace
tuning
out.
in. Have a good one. Bye-bye.